What a beautiful morning. We are listening in still to the letter that Paul wrote to the church in Rome, and he's talking about the focus of our relationship with other Christians and how there are some Christians that are very blessed and have a great deal of material wealth, money, houses, land. Others may not have material wealth, but they have a great treasure of spiritual wealth. They have a prayer life. They have a righteousness. They have a maturity in their faith. These precious treasures can be shared. Like the church in Jerusalem was suffering materially, but they were thriving spiritually. The churches over in the West were not very strong spiritually, especially when compared to their brothers and sisters in Jerusalem and Israel. But they were thriving materially. They had a lot of money, a lot of wealth. And so Paul says, for Macedonia and Achaia have been pleased to make a contribution for the poor among the saints in Jerusalem. Yes, they were pleased to do so, and they are indebted to them. For if the Gentiles have shared in their spiritual things, they are indebted to minister to them also in material things. And so what he's saying is the Gentile churches in Macedonia, Achaia, Corinth, those churches that had set aside offerings, financial blessings for the brothers and sisters in Jerusalem, they actually had a debt. They owed their older brothers and sisters this debt of encouragement and support and help because of the faithfulness of the church in Jerusalem. And it was from Jerusalem that the gospel has gone out through the whole world. So he's saying the Gentiles who gave so generously, in fact, the Macedonians who were relatively poor financially, were insisting, Paul, you have to let us participate in this offering for the saints, because they first gave of themselves. And so Paul's point is it's proper for those that are thriving materially to bless those who have material needs within the church family. And it's proper for those who are thriving spiritually to bless those who are struggling spiritually, who may not have that maturity or capability. And so today, it's proper for those that have material wealth to share with those that need within the church family. It's proper for those that have the spiritual maturity, the prayer life, the relationship with the Spirit of God that is so close that they have this rapport and communication with the Spirit of Christ, and they share this relationship, and they plead in prayer on behalf of their brothers and sisters who may not have that spiritual maturity, that level of growth and righteousness and the character of Christ having been produced to maturity yet in their lives. So we look around at one another, and it can be on the global scale or it can be on the neighborhood scale. Right here at Lake Area Christian Church, one household can look at another household, and whatever you have, use it to be a blessing to those that may not have what you have. And I'm convinced that God has gifted us all differently. So I may have a gift that you don't have, and so I should share what God has given to me. I'm pretty convinced that there's more where that came from. So if God has given you abilities, if He's given you material blessings, be willing and generous in sharing it, because He's quite capable of giving you more. It's all motivated by the love of God that flows through us to enable us to see the needs of others and equip us to meet those needs. And it every day comes down to this. I get to remind you that God loves you, and He always will. How do we respond to that? We love Him because He first loved us. And I want to remind you that we love you too.